What's up and welcome back to the Drills Gone Wild podcast. I'm Mr. Sling That Thing, RJ Steiskal. My co-host, as always, Gentry Ward, Heathen Outdoors, and with us, a special guest who saw the first time we hosted someone and said, I need to be a part of that absolute mess. So, Ward, why don't you introduce our guest? And
Absolutely.
we'll get it going.
So we got here with us Tristan Mussatti, and it is a delight to have you on, man. Glad we can make it here. Good old Mussatti was one of my very first privates coming straight out of basic training once I was a squad leader. We were over in Fort Drum, good old 287. Good times, great times, bad times. We had them all.
A lot of bad time.
100%. Waddy, welcome to the show, man. Introduce yourself and maybe introduce, how we came to know each other.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Story.
Yeah, let's see. I got the 287 and I think it was August of 2017. Showing up I was excited, man. Of course, every private out of basic training, all hua and everything. I was rearing to go first day. Yeah. And I get there first day. Yeah, you love it. Said it too many times. But I get there first night and we get settled in. I get my roommate, I get my room, set my alarm first day. And I was like, yep, can't wait. Gonna be up nice and early, maybe get a run in before PT. And I had good old, Ward ready, already barking down my throat. And I had another E5 squad leader at the time, Perez. Little did I know, I set my alarm for PM instead of AM. Yeah. And first time in my life I've ever slept through an alarm. I grew up, very strict, early mornings. I grew up ranching my whole life, hunting and fishing, doing the whole outdoor stuff. So I was very strict on time and I didn't oversleep very often. Big morning person. Well, not this day. This day I woke up and I heard my door. Yeah, I hear my door crack open, and I was like, "Who the hell is coming in my room?" Like, I thought we were locked in like key cards, and no second, yeah, no breath to give, and Ward's down there jumping down my throat, tossing my shit. I didn't even hesitate. I already knew. I just rolled out of bed, underwear and all, straight to the front leaning rest. Just started pushing, and rewind a little bit. Night before.
You didn't even call it ease, dude?
The white
You didn't even call it ease?
You
got a white dude running up in your barracks room. You can't call it ease, dog. They teach you shit at basic training.
Nah,
that's what you know. We weren't while you're
sleeping.
I'm pretty sure that came out of Perez's mouth. It was like, "Oh, fuck me, right? No at ease, no anything." And I was like, "I'm just here, man." So I'm just pushing away. Rewind the night before. I spent probably 4 hours making my room perfect. I wanted to be the example, the standard. I think Ward even made a comment on it. He's like, "Man, this kid already took the time to organize his drawers as he's pulling them out and just tossing them." I was like, "Oh, I did take the time."
Brilliant.
Yeah. And so
you did this good the first time.
Yeah, I think at that moment I realized Ward was gonna be a great drill sergeant. I knew he was destined for it. But yeah, so that was like morning one. So after that, I'm already late to in processing. I was supposed to beat Perez out of his car.
You didn't even make it to the unit? Like,
no, dog.
Bro. Dude, I thought this was like day one for PT. Like, you're in the Army for real.
No,
you just got here, dude.
I just got there. I'm still in processing. So I show up to in processing.
I hope you still remember your roster number because I'm sending your ass back, dog.
I do actually. 211, no big deal.
Yeah, you'll never forget that.
Yeah, so
Bet you
I get to in processing.
I know I do. For me.
And I sit down and I look to my right because I just felt like beating eyeballs looking at me. And I look to my right.
Said you got beady eyes.
Yeah, dude. Freaking my senior drill sergeant sitting in the chair right next to me. And I was like, "Bro, I just got here and I'm dealing with this shit." And he looks over at me and he goes, "What fucking company you in?" And I was like, "I don't know yet." He's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" "I don't know, it's like 287." And he's like, "Man, I'm in 287. You better pray that I don't get you." Luckily, he was in ACO, we were in BCO. Great. Thank God I dodged that bullet. But yeah, so that was like,
Found another, caught a stray.
yeah,
It nicked
yeah.
him.
First morning with good old Ward and Perez was just hatefulness of getting just absolutely destroyed. So that really set the precedent. I had a lot to come back from that. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely different from my first day with Ward. He just threw Jello on the floor. Like, I don't understand what's
Oh
going on.
God,
He
fucking Jello, dude. Don't give the kids Jello. They
went
don't
and
need
just
it.
threw Jello on the floor. I was like, all right, man, that's what's up.
That was a good time. That was a good time. I threw that whole pan across the CTA. I did not realize the first sergeant was out there
Yeah,
talking to
first
the
day in
CTA.
the Army's fun though, right? You
Oh yeah.
found out you
Bro,
weren't
it
a
was,
farmer no more.
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
I'll tell you. So Mussati, he showed up. Fort Drum does it a little bit different. Some installations you'll get there and you're in the in processing company until you're done with that, and then that last day you'll go over to your unit. That's how it was for me at Fort Wainwright. But
I mean,
Fort
yeah, just about
Drum,
everywhere. I think the in processing process.
well, they didn't
That's
have
how
barracks,
Campbell was.
Roughly
so
a
Yeah.
little bit.
they don't have barracks for that holding company at
Yeah,
Fort
you
Drum.
just go to like your battalion's
Right.
barracks.
So they'll push you day zero is with your
Mhm.
unit. And they'll get you barracks room and all that, and then you start doing the in processing process. But yeah, I met Mussati and I was like, I knew right away. I could tell. You know, I'm good judgment of character for at least soldiers. I could tell right away that he was going to be a squared away dude. He was very much like me in the sense of blunt force trauma was the way to go with teaching him. And
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
right on that one. He ended up being one of my best soldiers ever. As far as one getting shit done, he was a great member, close to the president even probably of the E4 Mafia. If you needed some shady things done, he was your guy to call. Some
At the
tactical
old at the
acquisition.
287 chapter.
Oh yeah, if you needed some tactical acquisition, he was your guy to call. But then also, if you needed some good, honest training or anything done, he was also your guy to call. So he was good. I was very, very dependable. My first day at Fort Wainwright. So obviously I did my in process. And like I said, I did it ahead of time. But then my first day going to my unit, I had not been issued all of the gear yet. What they had me in was my standard ACUs. And then they issued us a parka. And I'm talking, it was rated for like -30, -40 or something.
Mhm.
You I had my silk tops on, I had my waffle top on, and then I had my ACUs, and then I had that parka. And then some guy, some random specialist comes pick me up. And he's like, "Hurry up, man! I gotta take you to chow, get you fed, and then get you over to company." So he runs me through the chow line. He's telling me what to eat too. He's like, "Grab a fucking hot dog, grab a hamburger, and grab some fries, and shove it."
Yeah, dude.
Makes me shove it down like 3-5 minutes. I'm already like, "Well, this is not good." And then I get over to my company, and they're like, "Hey, Sergeant Ashton, call this guy over. Like, hey, there's your new soldier." And this dude, he's looking through my paperwork. He's like, oh, I don't remember what my score was for PT. It was like a 240 or something like that. It was not
Stud.
it was not to
Yeah.
his standard, right? And he was like, "What's your problem with push-ups?" I was like, "Man, I can't do that many. You know, I can do like 45. That's it." He's like, "Oh man, I'll teach you. Here, get down." And I'm in my parka. I'm in the company with
Great idea.
4
Thanks, Sarge.
layers on right now. And this dude proceeds to knock out 117 push-ups, expecting me to stay on his pace. And I'm about to throw up hot dog and hamburger all over this team leader in a parking, dude. And then the rest of the day, like next 8 hours, was just a smoke, absolute smoke.
Yeah.
Bro,
That,
that
Yeah.
was
that was day
that
one
was
for
Yeah.
like
me.
that was like you and Perez for like the first 3 weeks. You guys gave me this book, and you're like, "You need to know this book front and back." Me being the smart
That's
ass I
funny
am,
because the book that I gave you was, I mean, I had written it down from that team leader I'm telling you about now, but he's the one that gave that book to me. He's like, "Hey, copy this into a new book, and I'm gonna smoke you every single day until you know it." By like week 5, he was just like, "All right, I'm gonna stop asking you questions. I'm smoking you because I'm bored." I'm like,
Yeah.
That's funny because I'm pretty sure
That's
that was, like, day 3 for you, because I did. I went back, I memorized everything. I could tell you the max effective range of every weapon system in the Army, to include mortars, and we're not even Charlie, and,
Really?
you know, then I got Ward over here saying, "Oh, you think you're smart? You think you're a smart ass and funny because you got an answer right? Well, still do push-ups." So
Oh,
I
this
was
guy
like,
read a dictionary.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, man, it
That's
was
how
like
Ward gets. He's still like that.
yeah, I believe it. But no, it
Hey,
was great,
it was
man.
good. It was
It
worth it
really
for
was.
sure.
It was great. It really set the tone for my entire career all the way up until I got out for sure. I pulled the same stunt when I get a new soldier. First thing I do first, I was a little different. I was nice at first. I take him out to dinner, get to know him, and then show up the next work the next day. Next thing you know,
You
I'm just
mother.
fucking them up. Yeah. So they think they got this cool ass, squad leader or team leader, and it's like,
I
nah,
mean,
dog, we ain't friends.
he did take him out to eat first before he fucked them. Like that's the only thing Cartman was asking for.
Yeah.
That's how.
Shit, you can't even complain. He
Yeah.
did buy me dinner, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
now I'm
man.
just doing push-ups.
But then
Like,
you get the whole disappointment, like, man, I'm letting my leader down. Dang it. When we're
Yeah.
like, you're going to regardless. But RJ,
Yeah.
born to fail. Literally
how was your
born to
first
fail.
day, RJ?
I made it through in processing,
Mm.
even though I didn't have like an in processing barracks to stay at over there in Fort Lewis. It was mid-November. Coming from Benny, yeah, it's not bad. Mid-November out here is a little chilly if you live here. Now I know, but uh 18 degrees. That's not super crazy. It's not super crazy. So I show up. I've read the Matrix on the uniforms. I'm like you. I'm like Ward. I got this. I know what I'm doing. I've seen the Matrix. I got my jacket, long sleeve, short sleeve. I got my shorts, got my pants, got my socks, white socks back then. You know what I'm saying? I pull up to PT, beanie on, everything, gloves ready. First sergeant's like, what's his fucking problem? I'm hoping it ain't me he's talking about. No shit, I'm the only one looking
Standing.
like this though. Even in the line of privates that I'm walking with, they didn't bring pants. See, that was the difference, and that's what fucked me up. And then I'm just trying to get to PT. I'm like, I'll stage the shit. I knew about staging stuff. They've been doing that to me in processing.
Dress right, dress off. Yes.
First sergeant seen me coming a mile away. It's my first day in the company. And then I'm talking, and then, meet the team leader, and he's like, you're a fucking idiot. I hate you. I don't know what I did. So he's like, take your shit off now, shorts and shirt. 18 degrees, you want me in shorts? You want me in these hoochie daddies and this t-shirt? It's all right. I didn't know, but it was going to be okay. Because when I was like, what the fuck? How do you do this? And he's like, you just do it.
Yeah. What's your problem?
What are you? And I'm
There's
like,
there's 18 of them thingies floating around out there. You don't
and then
need.
I get a new guy cheat sheet after I've put all my shit away with all the pockets. He's like, don't fuck it up. It's Monday. It's 18 degrees at Fort Lewis. So it's raining. I'm in nothing but shorts and a t-shirt. I got this 8x11 paper that I got to keep protected. I pull up at 9:00, dog. He wants to see it.
Already fucked up.
5 miles. I threw up like 4 times. Yeah.
Definitely
9:00 though, I showed up with a piece of shit that wasn't the paper because it was melted. And he's like, damn, you just gonna waste the government's money like that, huh? Like that didn't cost the government money to print, huh? Okay.
Great. Great.
Roger that. Roger that,
Destroying
Private
government property.
Steiskal. Roger that. All right. Platoon sergeant wants to talk to you. I'm like, damn. Platoon sergeant literally just wanted to talk to me. He just was like, hey, I'm your platoon sergeant and whatever. I'm like, oh man. In that short 3 minutes that I think I said my name's Steiskal. Like he asked how to pronounce it. And then I left that room. I was like, that is who I want to be when I grow up. That's dude, Sergeant P was the man. Moving forward though.
Mm.
Now my team leader's still pissed because first sergeant knows who I am. And he's like, and now the platoon sergeant knows who you are too.
That's a bad
Like
day.
that's like that interaction where he just said, hey, what's up? Nice, welcome to the platoon, blah, 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 blah. He made that he's like, you see that this is some shit that ain't supposed to happen. Boom. And I'm just, it doesn't fucking matter what's going on. He's like, you see, push-ups. You see? Oh, no more push-ups. You can't do push-ups, sit-ups. Oh, you don't know how to sit up? Are you okay, maybe we can lift your fucking legs up. And I'm like, God damn. He's like, oh, you can't keep. You got fucking, you can't hold both your legs up. That's fine. Flutter kicks. I'm like, God damn, dog.
Yeah.
And then I went home at like 1800, I think. And the other team leader from the squad, he comes knocking. He's like, "What's up, man?" He's an E5 too, but he's plain clothes. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" He comes in my room.
Sick. What is
I'm like,
going
"I don't
on?
even know who you are, dude. Really? Like, I've been looking at the fucking. I could tell you how many tiles are in the locker room, but I have no idea who was in there."
Right.
And he's
You know
just
what the
like, "Oh, okay."
ground looks like, that's pretty
He's like,
much your
he's like,
first
"No,
month.
that's fine."
Yeah.
He just we stood in the comm area, said, "No, that's fine," and left. And then the next day, wow, you don't respect any level of NCO, do you? And I'm just like,
Like, I didn't know you. So I guess
dude,
basically the key takeaway for anybody that's
it was a
listening,
cold day in hell, I tell you,
potentially joining the Army is,
but it was
no matter
awesome.
how much no matter how much preparation you have, your first day at your regular unit is probably not gonna go the way you expect, and it's gonna be worse. Do the
By
best you can.
design.
So today's episode, right, as a whole, we're gonna go into that real quick. Already 18 minutes in, but we're gonna tie off a couple of our
Now on to what we're talking about.
yeah, we're gonna tie off a couple of our episodes. There's gonna be some obviously there's gonna be some storytelling here, but we're gonna tie off our last episode, which we covered late season hunting and fishing tactics, and then there's also, and up very next, we're gonna tie off a story. Just as a reminder, we talked about just another day in the infantry for me over at JRTC. I think that was my first rotation. And Mussati was there. That rotation, I talked about being a weasel on the live fire and then running down the hill and having one of my guys almost get his head shot off. Good old Mussati over here, he happened to be the guy shooting. I'm gonna cap my storytelling right there. And I might have heard your perspective from it that day, but that was a very emotional day. We lost, goodness, we almost lost him, but we lost a few to heat
Heat
casualties.
cat.
Yep, dude.
We had
Like,
what, like 27 or 28 heat cats that day? There was
yeah,
a
in the
lot.
company,
Like,
we had 389 in the brigade total. It was
yeah,
brutal.
yeah.
I heard about it. I
Let's
was there.
let's talk about your just your perspective of uh that whole event.
Yes, I'm gonna start all the way to staging, rewind all the way back to pre-staging, day of the live fire iteration. We were sitting there, and our platoon sergeant at the time was a guy by the name of Staff Sergeant McCafferty, who still to this day, hands down, is one of my best friends. RJ, you mentioned, you walked in and met a platoon sergeant and said, "I want to be that guy." That's
Yeah,
who
three
Mac was
minutes.
for me. First time I met Mac, he came in. He'd already been in 287 before, but everybody was like, "Man, what's this dude's deal? He's got this weird twitch in his face." And everybody's just almost like low key talking behind his back. And I was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna ask him." So I walked straight up, first three words out of my mouth, "What's up with the twitch in your face?" And he just looked at me like,
Were
"Who
you
the
an
fuck
E4?
is this guy?"
E3 or E4 at the time?
I E4 at the time. And I just look
Three
at it, I was like,
words, you said?
You got a weird
I said,
face,
"What?"
guy.
I was like, "Why is your face twitch so much?" or something. So like 5
Yeah.
words, first 5 words of, straight up insulting this guy. And if you've ever
Yeah.
seen Mac, you could tell this dude not only been in the shit, but done shit. He's just a scary looking dude. He looks at me and he dies laughing. And he's like, "I got blown up like 12 times. What's your story? How many times you been to Afghanistan?" And I was like, "0."
Oh, you you got an excuse?
And from that point forward, we were best friends. It was great. But we're sitting there and we're staged up. He's our platoon sergeant. We're getting ready to step off. He looks over at me and he goes, "Hey, Mussati, Saws." I was the M249 saw gunner at the time for my team. He goes, "Saw shoot better dirty." Me being the smart ass that I am, open up the feed tray cover, grab a handful of that good old Louisiana dirt and just toss it in there. So it's like, fuck this. This thing hasn't shot at all. I am still to this day a firm believer that I had the worst saw in the Army.
Hey, a saw. I'm telling you, a saw will shoot better dirty. I don't know why, but it does.
That's
You know
I
what?
crazy.
agree.
And so, yeah, so
I
I
don't know.
close the
I'm not
feed
a
tray
believer.
cover.
I'm not a believer.
Well, we're going to get to why that I might have proved this to be true. So we step
Ugh.
off, and like Ward stated in the previous episode, no targets had popped up out of this window at all, ever. But they weren't saying not to pull security or anything. So I was like, all right, cool. I've got the easy gig for this live fire. My target thing coming up. My saw doesn't have to shoot. And sure as shit, I'm posted up. We take this building. We're the second breaching squad. So we had our initial breach and then our secondary breach. I'm the second guy over the barbed wire. First one in the room, or second one in the room with the saw, because we only had 3 guys on our team. So, and we our team leader at the time, who shall remain unnamed, was a real shitbag and really sucked at his job. He liked to be the last one in the stack and have no control. Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so we go in, me and another guy, we take the first room, clear the room, all said and done, we're posted up in our security spot. I'm just sitting there and I'm kinda just, picking daisies in my brain, not paying attention. Next thing you know, targets are up. I was like, "Oh shit, we're rocking and rolling." So I barely have my barrel, I'm posted up, and the saw is running. I mean, I had probably 1,200 rounds because everybody's pawning up around. Didn't have a single malfunction one. I'm sitting there just throwing different nutsacks on, just eating. Well, next thing you know, I see out of the corner of this little window, I
My
just
man's eating
reloaded,
nutsacks.
and I said, I start engaging again,
All these
and
nutsacks just eating.
well,
But fucking.
man,
Civilians listening to this are probably like, "Why's this dude talking about nut sacks?"
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
eating them?
that so,
A
yeah,
100
for,
round belt things.
100
yeah,
rounds,
yeah.
one nutsack.
Yeah, and they call it a nutsack. So yeah, let's rewind a little bit for everybody listening, wondering what a nutsack is. It's more than what you think. Yeah. So
Are we
a
eating the
nutsack
nutsacks, feeding the nutsacks? It's a great time.
is
Tell
this
them about it.
cloth, essentially bag that you toss ammo in, so you don't just have your loose belt felled ammo just getting dirty and hanging out. So yeah, I unmistakably hear Ward's voice. I don't want to say like a fear scream, but it definitely was. It was a fear scream. Yeah, of a oh shit. And the guy it was your AG, right? It was Doss.
No, it was Fullweiler.
Oh, it was Fuller, right? That's right. And Fullweiler, this kid, his head is perfect level. Only thing above the window is necking up.
Short kid, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
short, stocky kid. And man, I saw him running full speed, and there was nothing I could do. I was mid-engagement, just hammering 3 to 5 round bursts, just eating, and yeah, he would have died. And yeah, I hear Ward scream out, and I saw Fullweiler's eyes, once the dust had settled, because we're still in the middle of live fire. We're still going. That wasn't enough to stop us. But I just see Ward's hanging on the back of his IOTV, pulled him back, about pulled him off his feet, and Fullweiler, all the color in his face gone. Just pale as white. He looked like he was getting ready to throw up. I peek out the window and I'm looking over at Ward behind him. Same thing for Ward, his eyes are huge. And then without missing a beat, we were right back into it.
Oh yeah.
So we're
Start that mission.
going, they set up, and I
Was this in
finally have
daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
daytime iteration.
Okay,
Yeah,
that sounds
daytime
bad.
iteration.
At least
I
for
don't even know if
And
visual
we
clarity.
I don't think we did a night iteration.
think so. I don't think we did.
Was that the
No.
massive joint out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
I was
that
there.
was like
I
that was
helped.
a battalion live fire. Obviously, we were,
Oh no,
just
this
at
is
our
just a
company
regular
level
one.
is what we're.
We did. I'm pretty sure we did a really big one. I think you guys were down there. We were out there. SFAB was there. I want to say one of the special ops groups was there of some
Usually
sort.
they're in. Mhm.
We had,
And then
the
like
Tunisians there.
you guys were
Mhm.
I think you guys were the foot, and then we were all the mounted stuff.
Yeah.
Our part of 10th Mountain was just covering all the mounted.
Yeah.
I feel like I was there.
Could have
Are
been.
you the barbed wire jumper?
Uh,
The body breacher?
no.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Someone was a
No, we
body
did
breacher, and that was crazy coming over the
it was
the
Armis.
battalion net.
It was
I was like,
Armis.
It's like, dude, we're in
I
training. Like,
it was Armis, and 2 minutes later he heat catted.
Yes! Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Yeah, we had a big
Yeah.
pause in the middle of the exercise, and, like, we're all just sitting there, and eventually they just said, "Come back on," and they just told us to drive to assault through at one point. Like, we weren't done, we were just lost. No one knew what was going on anymore after the mass cow
Yeah,
during a
imagine
Yeah.
training event.
training event, right? And not only does you or your leadership decide to use you as a body bridge over sea wire, then
Yeah,
you heat
it was,
cat
like,
after
almost immediately.
one, and now you're heat cat after.
Like, he finally got
Yeah.
up, and then he was just like
Dude, kid was foaming at the mouth and just dropped. I was right next to it when it happened.
he was probably out
Yeah.
from the moment he probably
Oh,
didn't body breach.
he
He
probably
Yeah,
probably
he
he
was like
heat
probably just
catted onto
running
the
up
sea
to
wire.
it. Yep,
dude, because, I
100%.
mean, when someone heat cats, they can't catch themselves, they're gone. Boop.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
too
what I
late for
mean?
them typically.
But yeah, he might have just fell into that shit and just been like, "Ugh."
Yeah, so, like, 5 minutes after I almost murked Fulweiler, I had my first malfunction, and I was like, "Oh, shit." So, I pull off the window, I take a knee, I'm going through pop, and I'm looking, and as soon as I pop that feed tray cover open, I was like, "Something doesn't
Mm.
look right."
Hey,
And I'm looking.
so on the O of pops, pull, observe, push, squeeze, right? On the O, what are you supposed to do? What are you
Observe.
supposed to do, Sadi? What?
Oscillate.
Uh, observe.
Ob mm, observe from where?
Well, not
Are
directly
you supposed
over
to
it.
observe where okay, so you're supposed to
When you're observing, what are you observing?
you should be looking away,
Ejection.
right?
Yeah, down and away, right? Yeah.
For how long?
So,
2 to 3 seconds, is that right?
yeah, something like
Hmm,
that.
weird.
So,
Go ahead.
instead of down and away, I looked down and in. Uh, and I had our, uh,
I see the light, I see
alpha
the light,
team
I see the
leader.
light.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong
I
training.
saw
Yeah,
Click,
he
click.
saw the light.
I I saw the light. So, our alpha team leader at the time, Hall, was an awesome dude. We were good friends too. He's standing over my shoulder because he's just amazed that I finally had a malfunction. And next thing you know, I'm counting out loud. I was like, "Oh shit! There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds." And as I went to look back and say 6 rounds, I just barely turned my face. All 6 of them cooked off at once, just blasted my face. And
Dang.
me So I obviously am taken back, and this is a perfect time to stress to wear your freaking eye pro because
Mm,
I was a firm believer of my eye pro fogged up. That was good enough for me. I can't see, I can't accurately
yep.
engage,
Whoop,
like I'm no
gone.
good. Boop. I didn't take them off, and that 100% saved my eyesight because my face looked like you'd taken a cheese grater and just rubbed it all over on every surface.
It was bad,
But
dude.
yeah,
It's like
It
someone
was.
just all that
focused
brass,
on
just
on a street and just
razor sharp
ugh,
shot at you. Just
Brass, yeah,
yeah.
you had brass, you had the gravel, you had everything. 'Cause I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, taking a knee in the gravel. Well,
plus the dirt that
side
you
note
put
off that,
beforehand.
yeah, yeah, plus the dirt and rocks that I threw in there, branches and shit. Well, they had this really cool video queued up for us, like, they were recording our whole live part because we had the best dry iteration, so they were like, "Okay, you're the company we're recording, we're gonna make this video." I've got this girl right
How it
over my
goes.
shoulder. Yeah. Well, I stand up because my face is popped, and I was like, I'm just screaming and, like,
Real
pissed off,
world.
not hurt. Yeah. I'm not really hurt, I'm just pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, "God, how could I be so stupid? I know better." Well, she pans the camera over, and then immediately she's looking at me at the camera, immediately jerks it away, and I was like, "Oh, shit," like, it's that. Nope, we index. Sergeant Major walks up to me, and he was like, "Hey, Mussati, I heard you had an incident." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm good, all good, Sergeant Major." And he's like, "All right, buckle your helmet, John Wayne," stereotypical, Sergeant Major
Mm-hmm.
shit. And I'm
Suck it
like,
up,
"All right."
stud. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, roger that." I turn around and walk away, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, by the way, nice watch." And I was like, "What the fuck's he talking about?" And I looked down, my pants had blown out. And anybody who's gone to
Yeah, nice
JRTC in
watch.
the summer, yeah, anybody who goes to JRTC or in the summer understands combat AC. I was just talking to my wife about it yesterday, how I just didn't wear underwear in the field. There's no need.
Oh,
It gets dirty, you know, you're throwing it away anyways. Well, this was the day I decided not to wear underwear. The entire crotch from my knees all the way up to my belt line blown out. Only pair of pants I brought because obviously I'm an E4. I'm not following no fucking packing list.
Turd.
I
oh,
You
don't
gotta
care.
bring
My ruck,
two, dude.
no, dog. E4 Mafia. My packing list is nicotine,
That's why I got
caffeine.
promoted. I had a clean pair and an E4 Mafia set.
that's
And
crazy
so,
because I was gonna say that's crazy. What happened to you at JRTC? And I had that same. I was a specialist at that time. I had that same mindset. Like, who the fuck needs 2 pairs of pants? I don't need that. Blown out. Need a belt line, and I cleared an entire village with my little shrimp out, right? And there was a female. She was like a paid actor or whatever. She drove a minivan. She was driving a minivan up to this intersection as my team was crossing the intersection, and we just stopped and like running perpendicular to her. We just all stopped, turned, and then escalation of force, you know, south, shoot, stop. So I'm there with my dick out and like, stop. And she doesn't stop. So we just like, she's getting shots and shot at the same time.
Just wiggling there, like in
The
the
lady's just like,
just blowing in the wind.
hey,
wasn't
plus
doing it.
side of it being so hot though is you know it was a good day. Like we're straight on
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
It wasn't a good day for me.
See,
I'll say that.
see,
But
I learned my lesson as a private. You got to wear undies, bro. You gotta wear undies. Yes,
Nah, dog.
walking through the mountains in Japan. What am I doing there? I don't know, dude. Just training. But like we're training, all right. We're just training and we're walking through the woods doing our thing. I take a knee behind a tree because I'm a good private. We don't just take knees in the open. We got buttons to fasten our pants. And if you don't got undies, there's a hole. It's just right on through there. I don't know what kind of plant this is, but it's got like 3 to 4 inch thorns on it. And I took a knee quick because it was a get down, like an in movement kind of knee. So like I slid in and I was like, hey, son, you mind if I move? He's like, what's going on? I was like, I'm not trying to be
I think I just got
ruin
shot.
our position, but I'm also not just trying to say, yo, I just got stabbed I'm still not trying to say it right now, but like, there's like a 4 inch thorn sticking in it right now. Can I pull that out and go to a different tree? He's like, oh, it's training. It's training. So he's like, oh yeah, just go over there. I'm like, okay, thank you. All right. And then we move out, right? Expeditiously, of course. Get down. Boom, another one. And I'm like, oh, these bushes are, and it's a bush, dude. It turns into a bush, and it wasn't mine, and this one hurt. Like,
Oh boy.
listen, it ripped across my right side where the right side of the pants, that's just the buttons. You know what I mean? It ain't that thick side. I had a slice from mid penicular line all the way across my upper thigh.
Mid what? Mid penicular? Love
Hey,
that.
close enough.
So
It only has a
me
collar when it wears a sweater.
me and Mussati, we decided there was there might be a couple more towards the end, but there is one more story that me and him came up with. We didn't come up with it. We remembered it. We talked about it, and we thought it was worthy of sharing before we get into the meat and potatoes of trying to talk about hunting today. We'll get there. Have you, RJ? You're
Another
gonna
18 minutes.
bro. Yeah, right. You're not gonna believe the story, but first, have you ever been to AP Hill, Virginia?
No, but I probably driven by it on like I-95
Yeah, probably.
or
Okay,
something.
so AP Hill,
One of them.
Virginia, it's a little fort, right? And it
Oh, is it over by like Fort Lee and Quantico and all that? Like
Kinda,
honor
not
guard type
not
people?
really. Yeah, it is. It's like the honor guard proving grounds, and then it's like
Mhm.
yeah, it's where guard goes and does their bullshit yearly wannabe
They're
infantryman
like
shit.
annual training that they still have to hit. There's also,
Okay.
don't quote me, it's either special forces or Navy SEALs do some training events there maybe both. I don't know. But regardless, we were doing an EDRI mission. We were on standby up at Fort Drum to deploy anywhere in the world within, I think we had an 18-hour window of from the phone call to the time we were on the plane. The entire battalion was going to different locations. Just so happened that everybody was going to like New Mexico, and then just our company was going to AP Hill, Virginia. We get the phone call, we get on the plane, we fly out, and we get there. First couple days is just like staging, prepping, all that. And then we go out and we go do our ranges. The range complex there, phenomenal. The best range I ever experienced. There it was like
that's about as close to the flagpole as you can get.
Yeah. But one, it was just company oversight, right? There wasn't big wigs there. I think for 1 or 2 days, our battalion commander and sergeant major showed up just for one of the training events. But other than that, it was my PL was the OIC of the range, and
we didn't even have range control. We were our own range control.
So, well, no. There was a civilian guy. He showed up and gave us the range. They had 2 platoons doing live fire, and then another 2 platoons doing just a range day. The range control guy, he's like, all right, so here's your left limit, here's your right limit.
That's right.
Go to town. And we're like, okay, with what? He's like, whatever the fuck you want. We're like, okay.
Sounds like a National Guard range.
In that one day, we did shotgun, 320. We had an engineer pit. We had sniper. We had Gustav. We had mortar. We had, what else?
We had AG4s, Carl G's.
Yeah, we shot all of those at the same place on the same day.
Big gun day.
Now,
gun day.
I don't know how many TBIs were gifted to the platoon that day, but I know that on record, I got a TBI that day from the engineer alone. They gave us 36 bricks of C4 and a spool and a half of det cord. And they were just like, go have fun. We're like, yes. That
was just the first iteration. In total, we had it was like 260 pounds in total of C4 allocated to our company to literally just play with.
It was
sick.
Phenomenal. We do that the first day. The next day we go over and do the live fire squad attack on the knockout bunker situation. And then after that, we went to this facility, and I've never in my life seen anything like this until then, and I haven't seen anything like it again. It was a village, training village, right? A mount site, and it was state of the art. I think that the only thing in that place that could not be manipulated would be the actual weather, but sound, everything, fog machines, just everything, full on embassies with everything that you could think that would be in an embassy. There was an entire village, church, post office, store, bazaar.
We had our platoon had the fire station. Second platoon had the subway. So they had a legit underground subway station. Yeah. It was sick.
So not only did we have urban terrain that we were not typically used to training, we only knew the doctrine on how to actually clear subway systems, but we had to train up for that and go experience that. So that was pretty cool. But Mussati already hit
there, Fort Polk.
So, and Mussati, I don't know if you know this, but there was some arguments between myself and the PL. I know that happened every day, but
and here they got to have Fort Benning too.
Oh yeah. Specifically about that fire station. So we had a couple observation posts set up and pretty much had a squad or 2 at the time. But then finally we're going to shoot across as a platoon and clear this fire station. PL comes up and he's like, hey, we're going to clear the fire station. And my eyes just get big. I'm like, I'm doing it. I was like, if it's in there, I'm doing it. It's like, what are you talking about? There's a fire
pole.
We're going down. And we're full kit, everything. I'm talking dodge down everything, right? I got 30.
You know how strong you gotta be to withstand a full gear like pole slide, dude?
Do you? Because I do.
On top of body weight, easy. And he's like, you're
not fucking doing that. He's like, you're not going down that pole. I was like, okay. So we go in. Second squad clears the first room, and then there was a staircase. They halted there, and then we went in and we saw the door to the right, which was into the garage. And there was you could see the fire truck. It was in there. Door's locked, and I just looked back at the PL. I'm like, He's like, you son of a bitch, don't do it. First squad, get up, clear the stairs. We clear the stairs, and then there it is. in all its gloriness. The fire pole. I look back at all my squad. I'm like, we're going.
The glory hole fire, the fire pole's glory hole?
Glorious fire pole. And about that time, PO comes.
Beautiful.
I'm like, sir, we got to get in there. We got to clear it. He's like, you son of a bitch. And then we just go.
Whee!
It was so much fucking fun to tactically clear a fire station using its own fire pole. We did it, and then we immediately all just, dude, like little kids, ran back up.
Oh my!
And
nonstop
for
like
we're like
hours.
He's like, yo, should we do it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Sends the whole platoon down. I wish somebody had that on video of just an entire platoon going down a fire pole. That would be sick.
When you were on the trail, Ward, did you ever go to that one range, the one mount site where like we had the tunnels and they would like you could go from the top building through the tunnel and end up like halfway down the little city we were in?
What village was that?
Okay. It's in the backside and it was hidden, but we went there when I left you guys over in ACO. Moved over to Seco. This one's for you, Caston, even though you might not have been in this story at all. But it's a Seco story like you asked for.
Yeah, he did ask for that.
Straight relation, though. Exactly like the city you're talking about. Firehouse, got it. Church, got it. The little white church with the bell in the top and everything. We had a top building at the head of the city where the mayor stayed. And it was 3-story hotel-looking, apartment-looking building. But it had this underground basement. As a drill sergeant, we are the ones in control. We are the watchers, right? So while we're making them do what you guys were just explaining, we got to watch from a higher perspective. It was insane. All right, trainees. The mayor's cell has been overrun by Denovian forces, right? 3rd platoon, that's you. Pay attention. They go and hold it down. And then we're just like, all right, there's suspected underground tunnels, suspected. We don't know yet. We're moving in on it. And I just let them go wild, dude. Full tunnel rat systems. They went straight for the ground. They did pre-recon. I don't know. They're cheating. Cheating at the range. One of them was on range setup and was like, yo, there's tunnels here. You know what I mean? But either way, dude.
In.
And then you got the drills are split and we're helping defend as well as like assault. We're a full out war, just window shooting against window shooting. And then dudes coming up from the bottom and then waving at the other guy like, hey, we got it. What a time. What a time to mess around and find out.
Absolutely. But we're going to go into the main portion of the episode today, which is tying up our last episode of late season hunting tactics. Like I said on that podcast, I wasn't really comfortable giving out anything about the West Coast just because I haven't experienced it.
We ain't out there.
Yeah.
We outsourced it.
However, great thing about the Army, good and bad thing.
Small world.
Good thing you get the melting pot of America. You get to know personalities and people from all over the country. Bad thing is once you leave that platoon or get out of the Army or whatever, they're spread across the entire country. So it's hard to keep close friendships that you made, but it is
definitely
good.
Take more effort.
Yeah, it is good for networking across the country and just getting insights. So I brought on Mussati. I believe he is well equipped to talk about hunting and fishing in general and out on the West Coast. So that's what we're going to go into. Mussati, I know you watched that last episode. We appreciate that. We're just going to go
love and abuse.
Oh yeah. The first section we talked about was food. Go over, general and then maybe more specific West Coast after that.
Yeah. So just a little quick recap of me for hunting wise introduction. So I grew up here in Oregon. I've been hunting and fishing my whole life ever since I can remember. In high school, I got really big into it with an outfitter local to my hometown who has requested for some reason not to be named. Like, man, this is free advertisement. But I told them I was coming on and they're like, yeah, let's keep this low key. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I started guiding for him when I was 16, but I wasn't guiding full-fledged by my own. I was more so learning the guiding game, learning the ropes and stuff, but
Mhm.
he brought me on because of just vast knowledge of our area and our animals. So out here in Oregon, we have across the state, anything and everything you can imagine when it comes to environment, right? You could be on the coast, chilling on the beach where we have Roosevelt elk, black bear, lion, bobcat, fox, black-tailed deer. In some regions, we have the Columbia white-tailed deer, which Columbia white-tailed deer are significantly smaller than, the white-tailed deer that RJ and Ward are going to have out where they're at. And then you get east of the I-5 corridor and you've got Rocky Mountain elk, you've got mule deer, you've got bighorn
Mhm.
sheep, you've got the Rocky Mountain goats hanging out, you got antelope, speed goats running around everywhere. We are prime in Oregon to hunt whatever you want to hunt. I grew up guiding across the entire state of Oregon, started taking solo hunts at 17 and 18, and then I went to college, joined the army, and hunting kind of took a back seat, but always stayed at the front of my mind. And I still took the opportunity to hunt, at Fort Drum, New York, out of Fort Campbell. When I was there, I did a lot of hunting. Kind of ventured into the unpaid guiding, more so taking out kids for their first
Mhm.
time hunts. Um,
Yeah.
People out there. Yeah, but food sources out in the West, I don't want to say it's not as important as the
Mhm.
food sources on the East Coast, but you're not going to see blacktail or mule deer going out of their way to find acorns. So we are so abundant here with so many various food sources that it's limitless. We have big
Oregon's
timber.
basically a forest minus Portland.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. And so their food sources are really unlimited. So you're not really hunting food sources as hard. I know Ward mentioned the spot and stock method. That is going
Mhm.
to be your most successful method out west. And that's to include, Montana, Colorado, Idaho, Washington State, California, Nevada, all of us Western states. I'd never been in a tree stand in my life until I was at Fort Drum, New York, and
Oh,
I hated
shit.
every second of it. Hated every second of it.
It
I'm
just doesn't
sure
look good. It doesn't look fun to me, dude. Like,
I'm
that looks
sure
It
going from
awful.
spot and stalk to
yeah, it is.
going from that to like stagnant is absolutely boring. I grew up on that stagnant style in Florida. You have a climber, you got a ladder stand or something like that. We all always had private property, but that was just the name of the game. The deer were so skittish in that area that I mean they've been hunting or hunted since the beginning of time, not just from predators, but American Indians. And then when they phased
Yeah.
out, American rednecks came into play. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
so
I think the Native Americans are still tearing them up too, man. I'm pretty sure.
well, well,
I don't think they're gone.
not
but
as
yeah,
abundant.
so you're not gonna really focus as much as food source as you are about getting up high and glassing. That's gonna be your biggest friend. And that's where I see a lot of East Coast hunters that grew up in tree stands and now you have saddle hunting and one stick method and all that, which hey,
Uh,
I love. I lived in Pennsylvania after getting out of the army where my wife's from, and that was my answer to East Coast hunting. I got in a one stick saddle. I got to have the ability to move around and move to deer. The
100%.
whole ambush method is not, that's great. It's proven tried and true
Mhm.
throughout
Mhm.
the history of hunting. But for me personally, I didn't have the access to land. And that's another thing West Coast has over the East Coast is we have millions upon millions of acres of public accessible land.
Yeah.
So it really eliminates reliability of having a food source hunt. Now, again, I don't want to take away from it because obviously animals need food. They need travel corridors, and that's all important. But when it comes to West Coast, especially in the late season, your success is going to be based off of your knowledge of the animal and how that animal moves and patterns of life, just like the military, right? In the scout section,
Mhm.
you're learning patterns of life and you're documenting patterns of life. I know
What
in
are
a
they
previous
doing? When are they
episode,
doing it? How? All that. The who, what, where, when,
exactly,
whys, and hows.
Absolutely.
exactly, and that's how you're going to be successful out west, especially in the late season. Just getting up high, it's glassing, And then it's making a plan of attack, and that's where you have to understand what the animal's gonna do by its posture. Like, it's simple. I can look
Right.
at a deer, I can look at an elk from a mile away, 1,100, 1,200 yards through a spotting scope. I would venture out to say 90% accuracy. I can tell you where they're gonna end up based off time of day and just what I know they're gonna do from years of
Right.
doing it.
There was actually a couple episodes on Meat Eater that really just it depicts exactly what you just said, showed it in real time. Steve Ranella, he's he's spotting and he tells Joe Rogan, hey, if you go, over to the east side, go down this little ravine and then go in, and he's like, wait, stop. Because he saw the deer just take one step or two, and he's like, it just changed courses. You need to go that way. It would suck to make a click or two movement just for the deer not to be there when you get there anyways. That's brutal. So
100%.
especially
Yeah.
maneuvering high elevations down to low and back up, all that. That sucks. Do
Right.
you
And
have,
then
I was going to ask about food, if you had anything for fishing specifically out west,
Like,
oh
what are they
yeah,
foraging on it?
eats and whatnot.
I mean,
yeah, so
you
like
do ice or no? Like, you got ice fishing too in
no.
Oregon, or okay?
Well, I'm sure over east, I can't speak a
Probably
whole
in
lot
some
to.
spots.
Yeah, sure. It gets a lot colder, like in the high desert.
Mm-hmm.
Over once you crest over the Cascades. I live in the Willamette Valley. What
Okay.
separates me from Eastern Oregon is the Cascade Mountain Range, and then from Western Oregon, I have the Coastal Mountain Range that separates me. But I'm a 45-minute drive to the coast. I
Oh,
hunt and have
Okay.
grown up hunting the coastal range. Um,
Gotcha.
when it when it comes to fishing, now I've learned a ton just from this show on bass fishing. I did not grow up bass fishing. There's plenty of bass fishing areas in Oregon, but I grew up fishing more of like the rivers and the streams, the freshwater rivers and streams, and then
Mm-hmm.
venturing into some of the bay fishing and stuff like that. But salmon steelhead, man, we have.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take a little. I'm gonna take a little dig at Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife and how they're a joke. Uh, but their management of
My man
yeah,
came on Drills Gone
100%.
Wild just to shoot shots.
Yeah, dog. Their their
Worst team
management
leader,
not only
worst Fish
it
and Wildlife Commission. Damn. Man's eating nut sacks and shooting shots, baby.
Yeah, I'm dropping a lot of hate today, my bad. But
all right, I got some hate coming.
Oh yeah, it's a hateful
ODFW has
episode. It's a hateful episode.
they have done a horrible job of not only our big game management, but 100% above all our fish habitat. And their ammo is deforestation. I hate to pick sides on the political spectrum, but it is very driven by that left-wing idealism of deforestation and logging is horrible when people don't really realize what logging properly does for our
It's
wildlife
population control
conservation.
for trees and
Yeah,
the things that rely on the trees, and
the
it,
entire
it, it
ecosystem
controls
as a whole.
ecosystems. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And being in an evergreen state and all
Oh
the
yeah.
underbrush. So, like, I grew up on the Coquille River, which can be argued is one of the top 5 rivers to fish for salmon steelhead when I was a kid. Senior year, I had 120 fish steelhead season. That's unheard of. And that was, a big
Hmm.
part of that
How
was
long's
I
the
just
season
didn't.
for that out there?
So the salmon steelhead run usually comes in. It is weather dependent and rain dependent. If our rivers aren't getting enough rain and bringing that rain up or that river level up, the fish obviously aren't going to leave the ocean to start spawning out.
Yeah.
So it's really driven off weather. But specifically right now, we're almost through January. We're peak salmon steelhead run right now.
Is there like a
Um,
legal time that you can do it, or is it
there
just like
used
when
to
they're
be.
coming through? If they're in freshwater, you can get them, kind of thing. Like,
There
I've never
used to
been
be.
salmon fishing. I wasted a lot of time
There
at Fort Lewis.
Yeah, so yeah, especially with, Port Angeles up the road, like, that
They would
is,
do it
like,
all
the
the time,
premier.
dude. Port
Yeah,
Angeles right
Port
there, and
Angeles,
then Olympic National Park. It's about 3 hours north.
and you got the
You're
Columbia
like
River
just
right south
open
of
land
you.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so
I just wasted my
I
time out there doing army things instead of fishing like a real man. No.
I see. I don't want to go and misquote it because I don't know, especially because they just changed all the zoning regulations this year, and I haven't read the synopsis
Mm,
yet.
okay.
I got a baby on the way, so hunting and fishing this year I've kind of checked off
Yeah,
of not
priorities,
happening.
priorities. Congratulations on the baby on
Thank
the
you,
way. Well,
thank you.
baby Mussati
Running
coming
around,
to your
yeah.
living room near you.
Number two terror of the world. Uh,
Woo!
but yeah, so I don't I don't know the answer to that question to sum
Okay.
that up. But what I do know is, yeah, it's weather dependent. And right now, we haven't got a lot of rain this year, but the river's still the snow melt. We've had a warm winter, so the river's coming up. Um, but yeah, food source wise for them, specifically salmon and
Must be fucking nice.
I was thinking, I was like, oh, must be nice.
It snowed in Alabama, and this dude wants to talk about a warm winter. What?
First off, the entire country just got demolished.
hammered.
What? Blasphemy.
I got 12 inches of snow last night, and it's 6 degrees right now.
Yeah, but yo, on the flip side of that, the downside of that though is that RJ can attest to this being at Lewis. The summer's here, man. We're gonna get hit hard if we don't get some
Yeah.
moisture soon on wildfires.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You're
Yeah.
gonna burn down the whole West Coast is gone. It's
You know
going
what
up in
helps with that?
blaze.
Logging. Anyway.
100%. Yeah, no, yeah, that's a
And
rant
fire
for another
breaks.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh
And
yeah,
National
also
Fire
fighting
Breaks
fire
by
with fire.
logging.
that could be multiple
Yeah.
episodes, as well as just what Department of Fish and Wildlife across states do. Louisiana, I believe it is right now. They're starting the whole CWD trend. It's oh my god, states have been using CWD as a means for more control over your hunting, and on top of that, funding. Does the funding go to the hunting though? No, it goes to lobbyists like it. But it's
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, you get CWD's coming, but it's never been proven to kill any human or anything like that. Doesn't necessarily hurt the population of the herd. That's scientifically
Not enough information to
they're
study, not enough numbers.
weather hurts the population worse than CWD. You know, CWD's there, it is a thing, but it is monetized for the wrong reasons across the country. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the topic. Thermal and security cover. And I talked about thermals a little bit because there is some hill country over on the East Coast.
We could talk about. I mean, there's one good Fish and Wildlife Commission right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Tennessee or Kentucky. They found catfish poachers. They've been stuffing pay lakes with massive catfish that you're supposed to report. So far, they're estimating around 300,000 pounds of undocumented fish have been sold to these pay lakes in the areas that you're seeing on Facebook, where like 85 people are at a pond and everybody's got a 30-pound catfish somehow. Yeah, dude, it's a good job, you Tennessee or Kentucky Fish and Wildlife Commission. It's close. I think it might be both.
Whoever's
Like
taking
it's right
care
up
of
in
the
that
problem.
area. So
Yeah.
We had a
it might be
lot.
both on them, but that's a lot, dude. If it's a pay lake, you're almost guaranteed a 20-pound fish. Almost guaranteed. Do the math on that. It's 15,000 catfish that have been removed from one or many ecosystems of large size, which means they're more than likely some form of an apex predator that helps control everything out there.
Rest of the ecosystem in the pond. Yeah.
So like I'm just, it's nice to see that
No,
like
100%.
there are people doing bad stuff all the time and making this less good for everyone else, but like to know that the authorities also are doing good things to stop that kind of stuff. Like,
There's a lot
I
of
thought we had, like I said, we had some hateful moments there. To shed some good light
Yeah.
on something real quick. Just real quick. Yeah. Fuck
the New
poachers.
York the New
I'll
York
hate on
DEC.
them.
Yeah.
I followed the New York DEC page or whatever, and I saw, I think it was like 5 or 6 major poaching rings were busted this year alone. So that is good.
We've been having them out west too. Wyoming's been doing a hell of a job managing. They had 2 years ago, they had one of the worst winters documented, and it killed off millions of antelope.
Oh, yeah.
Million. And they've been combating that back hard, and their antelope progress has been outstanding. And then the Mule Deer Foundation, not to shed hate, they're doing bad things in Oregon, but in Montana and Wyoming, they're doing great things with the big travel corridors and hammering down on that, and the poaching out there too. Yeah, 100%. there's a lot more good in the hunting world than there is bad, but it's
For
really
sure.
hard. And the
100%.
fishing world, yeah, it just in general, but it's really hard to turn a blind eye to the bad that they're doing because the bad just so heavily outweighs the good and the aspect of
Mhm.
what they're doing for populations and the actual conservation. All three of us on here are true through and through conservationists. We want to see people catching fish. We want to see people killing deer, having these special moments throughout their lives in the outdoors, and it gets ruined so quickly by all the bad. And, the rest
100%.
of our society hones in and focuses on the bad and kind of puts a sour
Mhm.
taste out there for the rest.
100%. I mean, you'll have somebody who's just through and through, they hate hunters, right? And I disagree with them. They're all three of us. We joined the army and we served, and part of serving is serving a country that is free to have a different opinion
Whatever
than you
feeling or
do,
thought they want, and they
So
can talk about it
even though
too.
I disagree with them, I fought for them, right? They have their opinion, but that person who's putting bad light on us as a hunter, or not even a hunter, a poacher, they're doing way more damage than the person that just doesn't like hunting, because
Yeah.
they're fueling that fire. So
Mhm.
yeah. Anyways, moving on. We're going into thermal and security cover. I know thermals
Woo!
out west are huge. So talk to us on that.
Yeah, so thermals are actually a fairly new concept to me. I grew up real old school, the
Mhm.
wind, just plain wind. Wind for me, in my opinion, is the most important aspect to play the wind.
Do
Go ahead.
you before you go on, so I pulled up like random Oregon area on Onyx after you and I talked a
Mhm.
couple weeks ago. Never really scouted out west because I just haven't been out there to hunt. But would thermals dictate a little bit more in other areas like out west than your specific area, or is there pretty drastic elevation changes? I know elevation really is like the main determinant factor.
Yeah, so that's what new research to me and my own studying and homework has shown is I should be playing thermals a lot more than I do. And this year I really implemented during archery elk season thermals, and it changed my whole approach. It,
Yeah.
it really did. I talked a lot about spot and stock. Well, one thing with the spot and stock is, you're getting up high. Well, what am I doing when I'm up high first thing in the morning? Yeah, I played it a lot different this year where I did a lot more preseason work and a lot more scouting, and then I didn't get high. I I I started low and worked my way up. I essentially just reversed my roles
Okay.
completely.
Hmm.
And I I saw it proved. I mean, I saw a lot of animals. I can't say I saw more or less, but I don't know. I'm still really learning thermals.
Learning it what?
Yeah, I really started playing thermals a lot more in Pennsylvania because East Coast really preach thermals.
Yeah, yeah, that hill country in Pennsylvania, you definitely gotta play the thermals, and one thing that people don't realize about thermals, even though thermals do that general rule of thumb thing, if you're on the wrong side of the hill where the sun is not at, they're gonna do the opposite until the sun gets there, so that could be like noon. That really has to play a role into your strategy for how you're gonna hunt that specific hill. The sun cascading down onto that slope, depending on which side you're on, does play a role into your thermals as well, not just time of day is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, 100%. And like south facing slopes get more sunlight than a
Mhm.
north, east, or west facing slope. So a
Right.
lot of the time animals are gonna post up on a north facing slope just so they have better that they can use their nose better. It's gonna the thermals are lasting longer. There's not as drastic temperature changes moving around. So you're gonna see a lot more animals hanging out on north slopes and benches specifically or ridge lines specifically for security purposes when they go to bed down.
Mhm.
I would bet anybody money that you're gonna find them bedded down on a north-facing bench or slope, looking out, and that's where you're gonna see your security positions, and that's where you're really gonna have to change your game up and your approach up during those bedding hours.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And just I know a couple people have asked me on like YouTube videos and then scouting tutorials I've been putting out on TikTok talking about benches specifically and how to find them. So my recommendation, if you're trying to learn scouting and you're trying to learn what a bench looks like on a map versus what it looks like in reality, my advice would be, one, use LiDAR. Let's say we're talking Onyx right now. I use that as my example because that's what I run. But pull up LiDAR on an area that you know. Look at what the bench looks like on the map, and then you should know what it looks like on person. And if you don't, then say you're scouting new areas, right? Pull up on there and look at how much it's popping out, because you need like 2 to 4 feet on that bench. That flat terrain, it's got to be 2 to 4 feet, or they're not going to post up there, right? They need space.
They gotta be able to fit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know what a 2 to 4 foot spread looks like on a bench on a map, look at what it looks like. Go physically look at that bench, right? Drop a pin there and walk there. And if it's not what you're looking for, if it's not wide enough, then you know now for future it needs to be a little bit thicker on your map before you pin it to go scout it. So
And to piggyback off of that, I think that's super important because I learned a hard lesson. My last day, it was the last week of archery season this year for elk, and it was my last day to hunt before I was heading back to Pennsylvania on vacation. And I kind of had an idea of where these elk were. My target bull was bedded down. I'd been watching them, through most of the season. We've been playing cat and mouse, and I saw these 2 cows broke off, and they were feeding up out on this, again, a north-facing slope that I'd been looking at, and I just hadn't seen them or any elk there specifically, but I knew that there was a high chance of it just because that was kind of their zone of where they've been hanging out. And I walked up this narrow bench, or at least what I thought was a narrow bench, because I'd only looked at it on Onyx. I hadn't put boots on the ground and looked at it. So I started, after they crested over, I was like, okay, my guess is the rest of the herd is up over this ridge line and bedded down somewhere, either skyline or just shallow of skyline. So I'm walking up this bench, and I made it maybe 30, 40 yards out of the tree line, and I jumped 25 elk. And out of those 25 elk, here's this big old 8x8 that's been my target bull, jumps out right there. I had him at 50 yards. Where if I would have known ahead of time by doing more homework that was a viable bench for them to bed down. I mean, I knew the area was viable to bed down. I knew they were bedded down somewhere in there. I just didn't know where, and I kind of already, ruled out that bench because there's like on the map, oh no, this isn't wide enough. There's no way, but sure as shit, there they were.
Definitely.
50 yards away. I couldn't get them stopped, and
50-yard miss, dude.
yeah.
Or did he get blown? Not blown, but like,
Oh yeah,
was he onto you, or did you miss? You know what I mean?
No, I jumped him. I jumped him out of his bed because I was working up that. I was working up that bed.
Yeah, okay.
And
damn,
I had
that's
good
tough, dude.
And he couldn't quite figure out what I was. He popped up quick, and I was really fighting an internal battle of, do I just draw back now? But then, you start playing into this game of ethics and to conservationist, our goal.
Dude, I feel bad if I can see the fish on the bank.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm cheating because I can see the fish.
Right. And so I'm like, man, I don't want to get a bad shot on this guy and wound this bull. Elk are extremely tough. The number one thing you find in an elk when you're butchering an elk is broadheads and 22s. Because poachers think that they could kill an elk with a 22.
And no one will know.
Yep. And so, yeah, I don't want to, throw another broadhead in Buddy's back or his shoulders or hindquarters. Like,
just switch to blow darts.
Yeah. So, yeah, the next thing you know,
switch to melatonin.
Took me a second. That one went over my head at first.
But yeah, so then I got him stopped. Stick it way back.
I got him stopped at 130 yards, and I knew it was game over. So that spot was blown. And yeah, so yeah, again, circling back, it is so important to trust and rely on Onyx for sure, but trust but verify. Verify that is what you think you're seeing. And it's an educational thing too. You start really learning how to pick apart a map and look at a map and say, "Oh yeah, this is going to be a good zone," or
Oh
"This
yeah.
isn't."
And then
Just
the
based
best
on the
thing,
structures and everything you can see
right?
Yeah.
And I
for
mean,
doing it.
so as far as like hunting camp back in Florida and growing up, it was, oh, last year I saw a 10 point at that spot, right? At that food plot or whatever. I hope he comes back this year. And that goes with the whole campfire storytelling and all that, that culture. And that's how you learn and grow. But then Onyx plays a role in that now, where all my hundreds and hundreds of pins that I put in from just absolutely crushing the the local hunting area this year. But every time I walk by, if I saw a scrape, a rub, whatever,
Hmm.
I drop the pin, and like all of that is just compounding for next year. So that's gonna be good. I'm excited about that. Let's go into the next section real quick. Let's go. So the next section, microclimate check. I don't know. Is you? How's that
You
work?
kind of covered it easily. It's a warm winter.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So microclimate, right, is talking about
like
for
key features from
no,
microclimates.
the the area that I'm hunting over here, big woods, but at the same time, it's not just flat. It's like there's little spots of 20 foot of elevation. It's a small little hilltop. Then there's like a little
Little
gorge.
dip ins, dip
Yeah,
cutouts,
you know,
all that.
which turns into good bedding areas, good travel corridors, things like that. Is there anything like that out west for?
Oh,
Uh,
100%.
yeah.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the terrain is so vast here.
Hmm.
Um, I was, I don't know, 12 or 13 when Will Primos came out and hunted with my now brother-in-law's dad. I remember we were talking to him and we were like, "Hey, like you need to be in the best shape of your life to hunt Oregon."
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I'm Will Primos. I've hunted all over the world." And it was a humbling experience. He even talked about it in his episode on Truth 9. He said, "Everybody who lives here is a damn billy goat
Yeah.
because of the
Oh yeah.
terrain we hunt." So imagine the animals and what that provides the animals, all that
Yeah.
micro terrain of these deep valleys. And then within the deep valleys, you have all this subterranean throughout everywhere. So, I mean,
Uh, I'm
it's really
like there's
hard to,
got to be like different ecosystems in that as well,
oh,
even.
Oh,
Yeah.
within one big ecosystem, we've got 100 different ecosystems. I see a lot of deer in these big mountain isolated prairies because it's safe for them. Black bear specifically, black bear are very private animals. You don't
Oh yeah.
see black bear out in the open. They want to be surrounded by four sides of big
Hmm.
timber. So
Mm,
where do you see black bear up in the big timber if you're not in the big timber? You see them in these subterranes of these mountain prairies. You see them feeding out in certain times of the day in these prairies, and same with the elk and the deer. And the only animal that you can't really pinpoint subterrane to is going to be like your cats, your big cats, because they have a hunting range of 120 square miles. You
right.
know,
Yeah.
and elk, you're
Yeah.
looking at 25, 30 miles for elk. And for blacktail deer specifically, you're looking at a range of 45 to 60 miles. Does it play a role? Absolutely. Is it as big of a role? I would argue no, just because they have such broad ranges.
Mm. Is there key differences for what you look for climate wise uh for fishing from PA to Oregon? Is there like different? Are you still looking for you looking for the same bend in the river, things like that, or what? What?
Yeah, I've got my honey holes that I will fish all the time. I'll rotate. I usually keep like 4 to 5 if I'm not drifting. I do a lot of drifting the river and covering the whole river. Climate, you're looking for a good rain to bring that river depth
Hmm.
up, and then you can't fish it the day after the rain because now your river's blown out. It's all
Mhm.
murky. And salmon steelhead,
And
you
but see, that's the
gotta,
best time for me. When it's all tore up, like I'm going. That's when
yeah,
you're gonna pull. You're pulling a bass or a cat out for sure during that time. Everything's so confused, and the two biggest eaters, the lateral line detection that most fish have through their bodies. They don't need to see; they just feel the vibrations. and they could recognize certain vibrations to certain things that they've encountered prior, right? They feel micro vibration. They know that fish is smaller than them, and they're going to
Right.
go for it. I don't know nowhere near as much about trout and salmon other than their fragile, which is French, I think. And I know they're not as hardy as bass because I release my bass with a nice loving toss from about 8 to 10 inches above the water.
Right.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
They'll
And
be
I
fine.
only toss them out when the bank's super washed out or super like shallow and it looks deep. But if I throw this fish, he's going to hit that rock and then break his back because there's less than a milliliter of water right there. But hey, the internet knows all. Yeah. But so they so do the trout and salmon rely more on sight
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Especially the salmon, because you got to think when salmon are coming upriver out of the ocean into freshwater, they have one mission.
Their vision's probably going crazy, dude.
Yeah, and
Like from
they
the
have
salt to just clarity, and then they're just you got
yeah,
your sockeye salmon. He's red. He's so red.
yeah, and their mission is to spawn. That's it.
Mhm.
That's all they care about
That's yeah.
is how can I the next generation of salmon to be done because they literally die right afterwards and become a food
Like
source
I learned a lot
for
about
their
bass spawn, and then like the trout spawn and salmon spawn. I knew about we come from the ocean, move to freshwater, run up the streams or creeks, rivers, whatever's. They just
yeah.
die.
Yep, they
Like
just die.
how do you get them? Do they just like I don't know, dude.
Well,
It's like
before you cover that, Mussati, I got a question too that'll probably lead you into that anyways. I know in Alaska and in New York, you can't. So if you reel in a salmon and you hook them on the cheek or on the side of the body for some reason, you're not allowed to
if you
keep it.
foul hook them,
Yeah,
Like
you
you
can't keep foul
have to
hooks.
mouth. Mm.
Yeah,
has
yeah,
to be
yeah. If you get caught with a foul hook and keep it a fish, they treat
it's
it
like
as
snagging
exactly. They treat it as snagging and poaching, which you'll see a lot of the poachers. They'll throw out this, big double
the
lock treble,
treble.
yeah, and they'll with a big heavy weight, and they'll drag it on the bottom
Mm-hmm.
as soon as they
That's
feel
how they catch
resistance.
gators.
Yeah, exactly.
Get gators
Yeah,
like that. Like you don't need a fish like that.
That's how I
yeah.
would catch gators. We catch them on daggone spears and shotguns and shit.
Yeah, so, spawning is not only a major culminating life event for a salmon, but I mean, that's their whole purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
Salmon fry will be born and hatched, and they'll go out to the ocean for, 5, 6 years before they ever come back to spawn. But they will spawn, in the exact spot that they
Where they
hatched.
were, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
You
like
you can check that
hardwired.
out on Futurama.
Yeah, yeah.
They did a good job. That was a really good job of how the salmon life
Life
cycle
cycle
works.
is. Yeah.
Like they really did a good job. So like for real, it's like I don't know, 8 minutes. You can learn
Yeah.
everything about a salmon.
No, 100%.
Except
So
how to
yeah,
catch 'em.
they are moving, and I don't know if it's like a sight thing or what, but yeah, they are moving and feeding in clear water. That murky water tactic isn't as strong as like I do a lot of smallmouth fishing, right? Smallmouth, same thing. I like
Hell
murky.
yeah.
I throw, common misconception I've seen with people is like, oh, murky water, I gotta throw brighter lures. Hell no, I'm
Oh, I go
throwing
dark.
exactly. I'm throwing a black and gold rooster tail with a gold fin on it. And or
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah, the
oh, but
gold blade. Gold
yeah,
blade's the answer.
yeah, and that is
Silver for
proven
clear.
tried. Yeah, exactly. 100%. That's what I have always fished and been taught in that aspect. But yeah, salmon, steelhead. Now steelhead are a little different because they have multiple breeding cycles. They're not just going upriver, spawning out and dying.
Okay.
A steelhead, by all intensive definition, is just a sea run trout. It is a rainbow trout that has gone to the ocean and came back upriver
As a salmon.
as a steelhead. So
Steelhead trout
yeah,
is the
a
name?
steelhead is just a rainbow
I
trout.
thought it was a steelhead salmon.
Nope.
This whole time, I thought we were talking about salmons.
Well,
I
we
mean, I
were
know they're
talking about
related.
salmon.
I know they're,
Yeah.
but I thought the steelhead was a salmon the whole time.
Nope, a steelhead is
You
just
learn something new every day, you know?
a
You
rainbow
learn
trout.
something
In
new.
fact, in some parts of Oregon and rivers, if you catch a trout over, I think it's like 13 or 14 inches, it's classified as a steelhead, even if it hasn't been to the ocean. It is still
I've only caught
classified.
one in my life, and it was 24 inches.
Yeah, that's a
It
good
was
one.
out of a creek in Delaware.
It's a good fish.
We ate it. We did eat it.
Oh, yeah.
We had corn and a hook, and that was it.
Yeah. And that's another fishing tactic wise. I catch most of
Corn.
my steelhead off yarn balls that I've,
Just like
cut
a little
myself.
ball of yarn on a hook.
Yep, yep, you wrap it around the hook and
What is that mimicking though? Like what?
fish eggs.
Okay.
I do know the trout and the salmon like fish eggs because I've seen the jars.
Yeah.
When I got from my very first tackle kit when I was like 6.
Yeah.
I was like, when do I get to use these? Because
Yeah.
they're like hot pink, neon green, and I'm 6.
If I'm catching a salmon or a steelhead that hasn't spawned yet, that's gold to me. That is gold. I am taking it home.
Because the eggs.
I'm curing those eggs, and now I'm throwing egg
Yeah.
clusters. I'm switching completely off.
Do you eat it out of the fish like the guys on the internet? Like, you know what I mean? Straight from tap?
No.
Off draft? Fish eggs off draft?
Well, I actually tried that up here. I looked up. Listen, I looked up. I caught a perch, right, and it was full of eggs. And I looked up. It's called
not even close.
Perch rub. Hear me out. I'm like, people just throw this shit away, and I look up. Apparently, it's a delicacy in some places, and people eat it. So some people eat it raw, and some people eat it fried. I'm like, that looks scary. I'm not gonna try it raw. I'm try it fried, bro. I made it until it was like a little nugget, egg nugget almost. No, dude, no, bad.
Yeah.
But I wanted to at least try it because
I mean, that's like a panfish, though. That's like eating bluegill eggs.
Yeah, but like over the years,
like they're literally cousins.
Yeah, over the years,
trout and salmon's way different. Those two are cousins. It's a cousin fight.
Never in my life taken a deer to a processor. I grew up doing it myself. Over the years of doing that, I look back, I'm like, damn, dude, my family.
How much have you wasted?
Yeah, they wasted so much. Just in the past year or two, I started eating the heart. I started eating the ribs and things like that. And just the more I learn, the more I study on it, the more I realized how much I've thrown away every cape I've ever gotten. And people actually buy them in bulk. You can just take the whole cape and throw it in the freezer. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to tan it and turn it into clothing or, whatever, there are people around that likely your area that will buy it. So I hate to be wasteful.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer on self-processing anything and everything. From time to time, I might take an elk to a processor, but also
that's a lot.
Yeah, but also you never know what you're getting too. If I take my deer in to a butcher and 5 other people take a deer in a butcher the same day, I'm not.
You might not even get your deer.
No, I'm getting, say, field dressed. I've got 100 pounds of meat. I'm probably getting 80 pounds. You subtract bone weight out. I'm getting 80 pounds of someone's meat. It's probably not mine.
Yeah, no, I ain't about it. And I'm just.
What's the point at that? Like once you get to there, why go hunt and gather if you're not even going to enjoy the spoils of your efforts?
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least be shadily moved on.
I have like a whole processing.
Probably not
in my house.
Just laziness, really.
Yeah, I have everything minus the cold room, which is up next. That's it.
I don't need a cold room. I got a New York, but still, I
have a garage.
It'd be nice. Yeah, it would be nice.
And a John boat.
Hell yeah.
So, travel routes is our next section as far as out west. Travel routes for deer and fish, elk, whatever. Was there anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, you're gonna live or die by them. Your success is based on how well you know their travel corridors. You're not going to walk up. I mean, my story just a little while ago is proof. You're not going to walk up on a bedded animal and have a fair shake at it. You're just not.
If they're betting down, you can bet all your money on they are betting with purpose. They are betting in a spot that they feel secure. So they can see this way and the wind's blowing from that way, so they can smell from that way. It is very difficult.
And there's a tactical sense hardwired into them. They have lookouts. They post lookouts. They have little LPOPs just like we had in the Army. Those 2 cows that I spotted initially, guaranteed they were out on observation. They're the decoys. They're the dummies. Why? herd bull bedded down, relaxing with the rest of his cows. There's like this common misconception from people that aren't hunters that these animals are just stupid and we,
mindlessly
we have this,
wandering around all day.
Yeah,
we
they,
have
they
this
don't do that
unfair
except for into
advantage.
your car. But
Yeah, we have this unfair
otherwise,
advantage by
they're
having
smart.
opposable thumbs and, the ability to speak. But it is so far off of the truth, it's unreal.
We got too good
The
at talking. We don't listen to shit.
exactly.
The next two we're gonna kind of tie them in together because I believe I know the answer for this one because it kind of just makes sense in my head. But it's talking about pressure audit and boots on ground confirmation in the form of pressure. I assume that on the West, when you're doing the spot and stalk hunting tactic, it's a lot easier to pressure audit that area because if you're on a hilltop, you can probably see, a wide region, so you can see if there's other individuals out in your area. Is that
Oh yeah.
yeah?
100%. And it's easily overpressured. I
Mhm.
think that's the biggest battle I fight hunting
Mhm.
and fishing is pressure. And it's no fault to, I want to say, most of the hunters.
They're just
They're
doing their
trying,
thing.
yeah, they're doing their thing or they're
We're all out
trying
here doing the same thing.
exactly. They're trial and error learning just like all of us did growing up in the hunting world and hunting communities. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. You do have your onesies and twosies. I've ran into people who will intentionally park across the road thinking that that's going to stop me. I will go around you or I'll push through you. I don't care. We're on public property. But yeah, you definitely have the advantage of seeing what is and what is not pressured. And just like I found in the East Coast, to get away from pressure, you got to just not be lazy.
Uh-huh. Yep,
That's
Yep.
absolutely.
you're
I
gonna
got
get
I got humbled with pressure this year, man. I was going deep as possible, right? You can go miles and miles and miles deep in certain public land, but in the area that I was hunting, the deepest was like a mile and a half, right? I'm getting back there and I ran into the same guy 2 days apart in this specific area. And the only way to get to it is walk that mile and a half. And dude was like 70, 75. And I just got humbled. I'm like breathing. Oh, finally I'm here. I sit down and then here he comes walking up. He's like, oh, hey, there you are. How you doing? I'm like, son of a, what you doing
I've
over
seen this. It's the
yeah,
old. That's the old crappy man. The old crappy fisherman at
Oh
everybody's
man,
pond, river, or creek. He's got 45 rods in one hand, and you're
and
like,
mm, and
he's just
not
got a bucket that's full of like chum or whatever.
yeah.
You're like, where are you going to put the fish? He's like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Let
yeah.
me show
You watch
you.
him set up all 87 rods, cast them all in one go,
And then
and then
just
in one swoop, he throws 89 fish into his bucket, and he goes home, and you're just like,
been sitting there all day. Yep. And you know
I
what?
got this juicy hot dog for you. You guys want Kool-Aid glizzies?
I've seen I've seen some bad encounters, mostly on social media. I haven't really had too many myself. I've had a few, just like one or two, just assholes, right? But I'm not to pat myself on the back here, but that old man, dude, he just walked a mile and a half in, and he's setting up in a spot that I had 4 different cameras within 100 yards, right? It was like my target buck area, and even that, I did the right thing. I did what outdoorsmen as a whole should do and should be like. And I was like, hey man, there's a camera 30 yards that way at about this time in the past 5 days, 2 hours from now, there's an 8-point buck that's going to be on camera. Good luck to you. And I, walked off. But, and that's what's hunting about, man. I
I would have
like,
told him a T-Rex came through and ate all the deer in the area. I've been here for 20 years. I ain't seen them since.
I
You
want,
know, you might
I
as well
want
keep
my
on looking somewhere
season
else, Grandpa.
I want my season to be successful, and I want everybody else that paid for that same tag to have
Of
success
course.
too. And even if
I
that
just don't want
means,
them to succeed for my efforts.
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. But there's also, in a sense, when you're in the woodline like that, especially me, I'm talking to God a lot. And I have my self-conscious beating down on me like, oh, dude. It's 1 minute from shooting light. I could do it, but then you got like you said earlier, ethics. I'm just like, man, it's
Doing the right thing.
bad karma could come to me if I steer this old man wrong that walked all this.
Integrity.
Yeah, no,
That's what
and
this country needs. Some integrity.
I had a similar situation, last day of rifle deer season this year, and I just didn't have a whole lot of time with my given work schedule to get out and hunt as hard as I'd like. I was
Right.
capitalizing every chance I could, but last day, I'm taking a walk and I see this buck silhouetted on the ridgeline, which everybody knows you don't take that shot anyways, but I don't know. It's last day. I haven't shot a buck. Yeah, we're getting pretty close, but yeah, I look down at my watch,
I ain't gonna do it.
and I'm 3 minutes past legal shooting light. And I think it was good karma that paid off because and don't get me wrong, I had my rifle shouldered. I was looking, I was thinking. It was an internal battle back and forth between right and wrong. And I obviously ended up not shooting it. And I'm walking through the woods and it's pretty dark in the tree cover. And next thing you know, right right in that same spot, I saw that buck. Here comes a headlight just bouncing up and down. I was like, man, that's close. Yeah, that could have been bad. If I would have shot, yeah, sure, I might have harvested, but not unknowingly.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm still waiting on my karma. I caught 2 fish doing the deed.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
like I'm talking about maybe, I'm going to guesstimate, but about 10 to 12 pounds of fish here. And we're only talking 2 bass. I don't know if you're aware, but the average max weight of a largemouth bass is 5 pounds. And I'm looking at 2 right here doing the little diddly. But I'm a respectful man, so I pulled the curtain and let them keep going. I avoided that corner for it's the same guy. It's the corner strike fish that I've been hunting. See, we're literally at wit's end battling each other, but I see he's with his lady,
Yeah.
You don't want to cross that. You don't want to cross that line. You just don't.
That's fair.
Because, I wouldn't want somebody giving me a nipple piercing while I'm trying to eat spaghetti.
I mean,
I'm
fair
just saying,
enough.
if I'm going to go out, that's the way I want to go out.
See, I was getting to that. But not hooked in the mouth.
What if you don't get it? What if you were about to, though, and then I pulled you out?
That would, yeah.
Timing. See, better just to let him do the thing. I got a video. It's on TikTok.
I mean, if it were my target buck and he's about to breed a doe, I would theoretically be stupid to kill him before he finishes, because then you're stopping.
Yeah, you got to get those genetics out there.
Yeah, you got to get the genetics. Got to get the genetics, but then I got that.
You want to get that testosterone out too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
you don't want. Nobody wants to eat a hard deer.
Yeah.
Before we've kind of gone on pretty long on time here. Before I go into the next segment, Mussati, do you
There's more?
If you, there's a little end piece, but do you have any, if I'm coming to Oregon next year, what's the one piece of advice you would give somebody who's never hunted out west? Just
get in shape.
Get in shape.
That one's easy.
Hit the stair climber, the stairmaster.
Practice shooting with an elevated heart rate. Not only elevated in the sense of your adrenaline's going to be going, but before archery season, what I do to prep is I find a big hill. I run to the top of the hill. I shoot my bow. I walk down.
So do stress shoots.
Stress shoots, 100%. Shooting with a high elevated, because you might think you're calm, cool, and collected, and you might actually be. But at the end of the day, you're going to be gassed by the time you actually get a shot at anything, whether it be a blacktail, a Roosevelt, a Rocky Mountain Elk, anything. You are going to be gassed. And so if you can't perform and make a good ethical shot, you got no business being out there.
Absolutely. Understood that.
What about people fishing the West? What's like, I want to go fish the West. What are you going to tell them? First thing, right out the gate.
Invest in good gear. Don't think that you're going to come out here and be successful with your 35-year-old.
33.
Yeah, exactly.
$30 Walmart.
That grandma had when she was a crappy fishing monster.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah. Do your homework on gear and stuff, because you're gonna come out here and you're gonna get
that anywhere for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna hook into a 35-pound salmon that's gonna absolutely kick your ass and break you off. These steelheaded salmon are smart. I can't tell you how many times I've either been spooled, or a big thing is, if you're not properly fighting a steelhead, they will intentionally wrap themselves around rocks or down trees or logs,
and
or
just chafe the line to pieces.
Yeah, yeah. They don't care about the hook in their mouth. They'll do whatever they got to do to
Oh
break
yeah,
that free.
they're born of the salt. They're stronger than that. They're from the Iron
Yeah.
Islands.
Yeah, I've caught steelhead with teeth marks from sea lions, and still 100%
Sea lions
healthy.
don't fuck around, dude. They're like the honey badgers of the ocean.
Exactly.
Like
These
for real, dude. Sea lions are mean.
they are. These fish are tried and true tough, and they are gonna do whatever they got to do to survive. And just like the animals, like they're a lot smarter than you think they are.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
man. These animals that are on our earth are just majestic, awesome.
Yeah,
Amazing
100%.
creatures. Speaking of an amazing creature, Mussati, our dear friend Becker, good old Mark Becker, he is currently actually, I believe he's still on the trail. He's a drill sergeant down at Fort Benning, and he actually just recently opened up a business. And man, the quality of the crafts that he is coming out with is just unseen.
The craftsmanship, if you
Oh,
will.
yeah. Nice. I need to put an order in myself, but just gonna give him a quick shout out. So Becker Custom Crafts by Mark Becker. He specializes in handcrafted challenge coin flags, custom wooden American flags. We're gonna drop some pictures and some clips to show you some of his work, but man, it's just phenomenal work. He can do, any wood arrangement, throwing away gifts. He's got a little script right here I'm going to read off real quick. So what makes him different? Obviously, he's veteran owned and operated, active duty as well. He offers a faster turnaround than most custom shops. He's fully loaded challenge coins. They max out at $250. So if you want a customized challenge coin flag, $250 is his max price. That's pretty good. Typically, just a standard one, they're like $220 somewhere in there.
Most people don't advertise their top price. So I mean,
right, yeah, exactly. You don't typically hear that. Who's it for? Military veterans, first responders, challenge coin collectors, patriotic home decor, retirement, and promotion gifts. Listen, if you're patriotic and you just want a nice custom flag in your house, that's the place to go. He can do 13 star, 50 star, thin blue, red line, green, gold, custom color lines. He does not, this is cool. I've actually never seen this before. He does 9mm casing coin holders. Instead of having that wood shelf, it'll be the actual 9mm casings holding your coins up. So that's pretty sick. And then last on him, he offers shipping nationwide. And then I have one more shout out. Savage Pomade. He's got an oil base out right now, but he's coming out with a water base for those of you that don't like oil base in your hair. And how I met this guy while I was on the trail, he lived right down the road from me. He was in Ranger Bat. He's still active duty military as far as I'm aware.
I've waved at him.
He got some local places. This is in Columbus, Georgia. Bluebell 706 Social. Local Vendor Village. That is where his local products are. He also does shipping. All you got to do is go onto his Facebook page, Savage Pomade. So if you are a guy who likes your hairstyle really well, go check out that dude's haircut. Go check out his hairstyle. He is his own model. He's got some good products out there, and they're all made from his own garden. They're all local resources. So go check that out. RJ, do you have anything else for this episode today?
Tristan, yeah, Mr. Mussatti, former soldier man, Mr. Soldier Boy. Thank you. Thanks for reaching out and coming on the show, man. For real.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. I was excited to learn about the West.
We're doing this is nice. This is nice. We're doing good. You know?
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. You guys are doing great things for both the fishing and hunting communities. It's truly an honor to be a part of it both. Like, it's awesome. You guys are awesome. I mean, I learn stuff from every podcast, so hopefully I can throw some knowledge out there for any curious minds or even people who live out here and catch the show from time to time.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
I think we need may have to do a full episode on just straight up West Coast stuff, because me and RJ, we are not.
Like I said, I wasted my time at Lewis. I went and did some bobber fishing. American Lake was right there. Just some simple, catch a couple bluegills, throw them back. But yeah, I never took advantage, and that was kind of the pattern. That's why we're doing it now.
Some my time in Alaska too.
I always got a boat seat open for you guys, and a place to crash and some spots in the woods to go with you or point you in the direction.
Definitely.
100%.
If you want to fish Lake Eufaula, I'm down the road. Bass capital of the world, dog.
That is a good bass fishing spot. I think it held the record for like 20-something years.
No, No, the record's out of Georgia and has been since 1922,
Really?
I want to say. But the weight was 22 pounds, so it might not have been 1922. But it was in the 1900s, dude. That's so long ago, you boomer.
Rough. All right, I think that's going to conclude our episode for today. We're way past time. I had a couple more things, but we'll throw it on the next episode. No big deal. Thank you guys.
Well, this is the Drills Gone Wild. Thanks for tuning in. Tristan, thanks for coming on and sharing your fantastic Western knowledge. Mr. Gentry Ward, I'll fucking talk to you in about 20 minutes, I guess. Bye, everybody else.
Bye.
You broke the line.
Yeah.
What we got?
That shit hurt.